Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss the symbolism in astrology and what each astrological symbol represents. The best known explanation for astrological symbols is the concept of archetypes developed by Carl Jung. His idea was that basically every planet and every sign in astrology represents a certain personality trait or even an entire personality of its own. Now, this is what he meant by archetype. Character, if you will. The villain would, for example, be either Saturn or Mars. The good guy, Jupiter, defeating the dragons. Such symbolism was quite easy to understand with even a basic knowledge of Greek, Roman, or even Hindu mythology, as the deities represented in it would basically explain what each archetype was. But when we start looking at things other than personalities, for example, which planet represents which organ, then we need to elaborate further than simple archetypes or characters assigned to the planets or the signs. You see, one might consider astrology a form of language, yet the symbols of astrology are not words, they are concepts. For example, the concept of divinity may refer to a god, it may refer to angels, it may refer to saints, it may refer to heaven. It's a broad concept. This is probably the best way to view planets as a symbol, because each planet represents a different concept. If we take the example of divinity, then that would be Jupiter. But when Jupiter is debilitated in a chart or influenced by Mars, this can also symbolize divine wrath. So the concept itself remains the same, it is just modified by the circumstances in which it is placed. Same is true of medical astrology as well, where Jupiter can represent the liver, for example. Now, when debilitated, one would expect the liver to have some issues. Also, when it is influenced by Mars, well, cirrhosis can definitely occur, but that is only one of the possibilities. Another might be a blood clot, for example, especially when combined with Saturn. But all of those must be studied very carefully, because when he's exalted, then that same Mars can simply represent a very active liver that can basically boost one's metabolism and make him a better athlete. Now, it's quite a complicated topic, and it is easy to jump to conclusions, yet a single combination does not denote anything on its own. And one should always remember that before starting to panic if one sees a debilitated Jupiter in their chart. That doesn't actually mean that something is wrong with their liver. In fact, quite the opposite might be true. The liver can be far more resilient than usual. How is that possible? Because other factors might influence his position. This is why it is very important to study each chart carefully to determine what is going on. It is also the reason why simple prediction of one's health don't always pan out. In further videos, I will explain what each astrological symbol really represents and how we might interpret it in one's chart. Until then, you are welcome to check out my website called Vedic Medical Astrology. You will find the link below. Thank you.